So it's a Sunday, and it means one thing, and it means one thing only. You're tuning back into the Two-Man-Step podcast with myself, DK, and
myself, Damz.
Special guest. Obviously, before we get special guest, we got another special guest.
Okay. I'm here. I was here last week.
Just go with it.
Kieran, yeah, all right.
Go with it. Go with it.
And then chat to them, bro.
Shocki, man. That's me.
Shocki. We forgot to announce pro boxer 3-0.
3-0.
Man don't really come and keep streets like that. Let me just say that from now, innit? So big him up all the time.
Round of applause for the 3-0.
Yeah, nah, for real. Even stepping in the ring is a big thing, innit?
100%.
Stop your conversation for a split second. Have you not got a grey car parked downstairs?
I've got one Astra. Mine's parked outside.
Yeah, I think the traffic warden waved at me and said like, "Yo, like he's about to give him a ticket."
Damn.
So like, yeah, so you can move it into the car park right there.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
If you want it right now, I'm sorry to jump.
No, Rob, you told me. Yeah, go on.
I won't even cut.
You can come out through the back entrance right here. It's very. You do it in 2 seconds.
You can move if you want them.
Yeah, go on. I'll move.
I appreciate it. Just hop back in when you come in there.
Yeah, just jump straight back in it, man.
Just hop in.
100%.
Wishing you should start that one again.
No, they should know that. They should know that you was about to get a ticket. They should know. Nah. Up to you, innit? If you're saying start again, start.
Nah, we're ready from here anyway.
Yeah, good, man.
So chat to us, man. Obviously, the humble beginnings, 3-0 now.
Yeah, of course.
How did it all start? Why did you start boxing?
Well, do you know what? It's all started with just me being on the wrong path, as the usual. I think a lot of people get into it for the same reasons. Had a bit of fire in my belly. Used to get in a bit of trouble and that. Used to like a little fight. And then my uncle, who's my coach now, as well as Josh Burnham. And he got me, basically took me under his wing, started teaching me boxing, and just kept me off the streets, man. Kept me off the straight and narrow. And then, man, my uncle's my main guy now. He's my best pal at the same time. I roll with him full time. And Anna Bassane, his name is, man. He's the man. And that's where it all started, man. I just get myself off the streets, just get in the ring, and then I fell in love with it, man. So boxing's done a lot for me in the sense that, thank God, I've made it to a professional level. So I'm climbing up the rankings and that. And I'm just hoping to take it all the way, man. But at the same time, keeping it humble, man. I just like to fight, you know what I mean? That's all it is, bro. I like a fight and just staying off the streets and trying to get other kids off the streets at the same time.
That's the vision. I respect it. To branch into what you said about you getting in trouble, would you say when growing up you had a lot of bad influences around you?
Do you know what? My family are always good, so I can't ask for better parents, you know what I mean? They brought us in the country, but we've got a lot of things around us, you know what I mean? This ain't really... Being brought up in England can't really be too hard. Where I'm from, anyway, I'm from Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire, so there's none of that gang stuff over there. Do you know what I mean? Really, when you think about it, man, I'm from a nice area. My parents always worked hard. My brothers, they work hard as well. So to be fair, I had good influences around me, but it's just sometimes, I think certain individuals sometimes in school and stuff like that, you get influenced by there are some people that, don't get me wrong, some of that rap music and that as well gets you kind of gassed, you know what I mean? I think everyone goes through a little phase in their life, you know what I mean? And
it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just a phase. It's more due to the fact of now you've come away from that, you know the mistakes you made back then.
100%.
And now, you know, you're just trying to push forward, innit?
Do you know what? My uncle, I'll talk about him a lot. The reason is because the things that the man's done for me, he's gone over and beyond for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the guy's never taken a penny off me, and he's given me countless amount of hours. Amount of times I've tried to pay him, won't take a single penny. Like he's honestly the man, and he's taking his time out all the time for me. So whenever I call him up, I need an extra session, I need an extra workout or something like that, I'll call him up. He's like, yeah, when, where? Do you know what I mean? Straight up. So yeah, man, he did get me off it, like off the streets and stuff like that, man. Which I was badly on it as well. Like,
at what age roughly would you say that your uncle
14.
really started having an influence on you?
Yeah, 14.
So that's when you started boxing, pretty much, you'd say?
Yeah, 14, yeah. I started when I was younger. My dad took me when I was 8 years old. But you know when they take you and then obviously you fall out of it. I used to spar some traveller kids down there, I remember. So I did have something about me because even when I was around 14, my uncle always noticed that I was I'd like a little fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't mind fighting the
yeah.
cousins and that. Like
Yeah.
we have a lot of cousins as well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
everyone. Do you know what I mean? We put some boxing gloves on here and there, man. But I'd
Yeah.
always have that little. I was always a small, skinny one as well, man.
Yeah.
But I just had something different about me, I think. Anyway. But,
So how long has your uncle been in boxing for, or did he start with you?
well, before I was born, the guy was watching boxing
Oh,
and
so he's
everything.
been
Do you
in
know what I mean?
boxing.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
so he's been a boxing fan from.
Yeah. He knows a lot about the sport. Now he's obviously got quite a couple of fighters under his wing as well now. Got some good boys coming up, man. We only took one of our Kudakoshi, his name is. We took him to that bouncer play dirty. That, that is one of his sparring sessions, and
Was that Sunday Smoke?
yeah,
Or-
it was just like one of the sparring sessions though, like just to like.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Should
yeah,
like
yeah. See
obviously
what
he
you're
get
saying.
picked, yeah, but
Yeah.
to be fair, there was a lot of people there, so there was a lot of selection.
Yeah.
But to be fair, anyone that he sparred, he lit up, and he's about it as well. And that's one of my uncle's guys now, and yeah, man, it's some good things in the pipelines for some, not just for myself, God willing, but hopefully for me going, because my uncle's teaching me obviously for something after boxing as well. We're just finding a plan B at the same
of
time.
course. Because boxing's one of them things that if it stops tomorrow, what am I doing? Type of thing. You get me? So
100%.
You sure you want me?
Yeah, but we're getting it, man.
Your bag, innit?
guy's been he's been trying to dodge all day.
Yeah,
man.
No,
we're just
he's
one
trying to
little trim.
dodge.
He's trying fighting anyway, man.
He's been talking about boxing from the moment, so
Yeah,
you
boy.
lot get on him, man. But as you're saying, so in terms of before we get onto you actually fighting, I wanted to know like, so even when you step in the gym, like, what's your mindset? What are you saying to yourself? And what would make you a bit different from other fighters coming up?
Do you know what? I think a lot of fighters have it in them. Because, like I said, when you're coming to training after, let's say you've been working, whatever you've been doing throughout the day, there's double sessions and stuff like that. Most fighters have that same little fire in their belly. They just have something about them that they just have a little release.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get into boxing, that's where that release would have gone in the wrong places.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's a certain release that you need to get out. I was such an active kid, man. I was balling, I was playing everything. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously some scraps would happen, football, everything. Do you know what I mean? So
Or scrapping at football.
yeah, man. I've got too many red cards, man. I feel sorry for Bedgrove in my town, man. So I had to pay too many fines on my behalf, man. So yeah, man. So when I step in the gym, it's the same thing, man. I'm gonna give it 100%. Sometimes you're not gonna get that 100% performance. You're not gonna get the best performance that you want, but that's just countless of sessions that you're having and stuff like that. So some sessions are going to be down sessions, but that's when sometimes you need to know when to take a rest as well. So as well as training, rest is just as important, man.
Yeah, 100%. I hear that. What is your training routine? Because I know boxing training routine is like the peak.
Yeah.
Training regime and everything. Like I trained with him through lockdown
Yeah.
and his boxing thing, and I'm probably the fittest I've ever been in it.
Yeah, 100%.
So what is yours?
So first of all, like let's say we got I'm fighting in November time. I haven't got an exact date yet, but pretty much right now we're just staying fit. So any time out of training, I'm at least training 5 times a week or 4 times a week maximum. Do you know what I mean? I'm training, so I'm always when I've got a fight confirmed. So there's got to be 3 runs in the morning. There's got to be 2 of them at 5k right now because I'm only fighting 4-round fights, and I'll do 1 10k, and that's in the mornings. And then in the evenings I'll do 6 sessions. So obviously I'll get 2 strength and conditioning sessions in. I get obviously the boxing in. We'll mix it up with the sparring and that as well. And then sometimes we'll just have like just a light pad sessions and that, just moving about. But we'll go through a phase of doing the long runs at the start, then obviously going hard for a whole month, and then tapering off, just getting, because you want to be able to perform and you want to peak at the right time. You don't want to overtrain, or you don't want to burn yourself out in training.
yeah,
You know
so-
exactly how it is as well.
How long would the camp be roughly?
So right now, really, I don't really need more than 6 weeks because
Okay.
I'm always training. It's just due to some months and some complications. I was supposed to fight in September, but obviously due to some complications and things like that, I've had to change it to November. So really and truly, I only need 6 weeks, but this one will be an 8 to 10 week one. But it's all good.
So it's more literally, what would you say, the last 2 weeks is just dusting off the little...
The last week.
The last week is just
Yeah,
dusting
yeah.
off them little mistakes that.
There's no sparring. You're not going
Yeah.
to get punched in that
Yeah,
week. You're just
that's
keeping
it.
sharp and just getting a sweat
Yeah,
on. Because
yeah.
obviously a lot of fighters have to make weight at the same time as well.
Okay.
As you know, weight's a big thing in
Yeah.
boxing
Yeah.
as well. So
Oh, sorry, no, go on, finish.
boxing's obviously weight's a big thing in boxing. So so the last week is just making sure the weight's right and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
usually from the start you're monitoring it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm always like every morning I got to weigh myself. I have to weigh myself. I'm
Every
itching.
morning,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I just no.
First thing you do,
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah, well, so what weight do you fight at? Which weight do you walk around at? Like, is there a massive cut you have to make, or?
So I fight a super welterweight. So
Okay.
I'm fighting at 69 kilos. But due to it being only journeyman at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only really fighting at like 70, 71 max. I'll move up and down. I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't really mind too tough. But I can make the 67 limit on a 24-hour weight cut. That's obviously when you're weighing in on a Friday, fighting on a Saturday.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you just do a bit of a water cut pretty much.
Yeah.
But right now I'm walking about 73 kilos, 74 kilos. I'll
Yeah.
go up sometimes, I go up to 75, but I'll get down to 69, 70.
69.
So
Yeah.
just ranges in between that.
Yeah. It depends what it is. My last fight, I had 3 different change of opponents. 2 of the weight classes were the same. One of them I had to drop a bit more. And then the last opponent I had to put on like 5 pounds. And it is what it is, man. It's
Yeah.
boxing, innit? People
And
pull out. And
How long did you have to put on that? To put on 5 pounds?
I think the last opponent they give me about 10 days notice. But really and truly, I'm really hydrating by that time anyway.
Okay.
Just drinking water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was quite good, to be fair, because I'll come in at I didn't actually put on the full weight anyway. I'll come in at 155 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be 157, and the opponent come in the exact same as me. So I wasn't giving up any weight or
Is
anything
there,
like that.
is there anyone? I know it's early days. You're only like just starting out as a pro. Is there anyone you'd say, as a pro now, you'd look at and you think this fight could happen in a few years or something? Do you look at anyone you think this fight could happen or something? You reckon your paths could cross, sort of thing, or you don't really look that far ahead?
Do you know what? I take every fight at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that right now because I'm only at this phase of just building my career. I'm only 3-0.
Yeah.
I still need to get to obviously. I've only done 4 rounders. I've got one more 4 rounders until I move on to 6.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just looking at every fight at a time. But whoever's about at that time, when I do get there, we'll make it happen because I'm happy. Like I said before this even started, man, I like to fight.
Yeah.
For once, I'm actually getting paid for it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm
Best
getting
of both
actually
worlds, innit?
so
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take that any day.
So going on to your fights, the first fight, how was what was your body saying? What was your mind saying? Because obviously it's your first fight, and I'm guessing all your family must have been there as well. So
I sold like 150 tickets, man. So just
Wow.
like, and I was traveling as well. People traveling. I had people from Derby come down. I had,
Crazy.
Wow.
people. I had one of my friends from Russia come down as well, man.
Your first
Just,
fight?
man.
Crazy.
Just showing his
Crazy.
butt. So
Wait, he flew over from.
yeah,
it.
flew
Yeah.
over,
Oh,
man.
shit.
He's on that pasta though, isn't it, bro?
Oh,
You can make that change. You get me?
yeah.
But
So as I was saying, like just talk about mindset, like building up. Obviously, what are you a guy that deals with nerves, or you don't really get it? Like,
do you know what? I think any fighter that tells you they don't get nervous before a fight or a camp or at some point during your fight camp, I don't know, man, I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. Because for me personally, and I remember I've had a decent level of amateurs as well. I had like 40 amateurs.
yeah,
So, and I was active with it as well. And even with the experience, I felt like my earlier fights I wasn't as nervous, so I got nothing to lose.
yeah.
But now I've come to a level where a loss could actually, it won't define your career, but sometimes people overlook you when they see a loss, they see a weakness. Do you know what I mean? They
they
see
start analyzing things that they
course.
shouldn't. Like,
and
but-
in your own head as well. Like you have that doubt in your head. Oh damn, I did lose that one. So not that I don't think I can't lose. So I lost in the amateurs. It's just. There's always a fear of losing. Of course it is, because you put so much into it. You've got so many people coming to watch you as well. So you just want to make everyone proud. Do you know what I mean? So I do get nervous before I fight, but I don't. I handle them well because I know what I'm there for. You doubt yourself. You have these questions in your head where you're like, do you know what? Did I train hard enough?
Yeah.
You know, you had that before, innit?
Yeah.
Like, we just like, did I train hard enough? But then you got to remember, man, you put in 6 to 8 weeks of hard training,
countless hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something. If I turn up to a fight unfit, I've still got that fight in me. That fight ain't gonna go away because I haven't trained hard enough. Which I would never turn up to a fight not training hard enough.
Yeah.
However, worst case scenario, if I turn up to a fight unfit, I know I've got a fight in me regardless. So my first fight was a bit of a crazy one. I had so many people coming down.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of obviously attention because I'm from a small town called Aylesbury.
Yeah.
And so I had obviously a lot of people. Whenever I see people that ask me the same questions, which is all good. I'm happy with that.
All questions like, when you're fighting next,
when you're fighting,
this,
you looking forward to your debut? Good luck. Do you know what I mean? So like any person I'd come across when I'm in town or anything like that, it'd be the same thing. Yeah.
So surely that brought a little more,
a bit more pressure in it.
Yeah, a bit more pressure as well.
See, do you know where Joshua acted a bit? When he got on the mic after his last fight and stuff like that. Bro, you got to understand, man. I've got pressure on me, and I'm from a small town, and I've got not even 1% of how many people he's being followed by.
Yeah.
So he's got the pressure of the world on his shoulders, man. So when people got to act like that, you got to give them a like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you what do you think of that whole thing he did though? Do you think it was the right thing he did, or
what do you reckon?
He's sort of like. It's just like in the moment. I think,
I think it's one of them
just
in the moment.
I think he definitely had like a kind of a mental breakdown. Like he just lost it. Yeah. That's what I reckon.
Because like he did. The thing is, he actually boxed good the whole time.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just man like Usyk. You're not just knocking them down, innit? Get me? Like them man. He's the best right now in the heavyweight division for a reason, innit?
Said it like my bro before the first Joshua fight. I thought, Joshua could probably knock him out. They're doing. Yeah. And then my brother was like, do you know his amateur record? I was like, nah. It's like 370 odd wins.
And how many lost? 2?
I don't know, like 2 or 3 losses. I was like...
And he fought some good level fighters as well. It's not just like... Do you know when you're in that level, in the amateurs, you're fighting all these pros that... I'm pretty sure he fought Artur Beterbiev.
Yeah, he put him down.
Who is 19 fights, 19 wins, 19 knockouts, but he's been fighting top level fighters from like, do you know, like most people have like early fights where they just have like little not pushovers, but little warm up fights. Nah, none of that. It was a few of them, but it was straight on to like top level contender. And if he did put him down, I don't remember exactly. I know they fought a couple of times. I think they got a couple of wins each side, but so the level that you're fighting against it is. I remember, like Joshua said, man, he's just some London boy that just happened to fall into millions. Not happened to fall. He put the work in. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard to change overnight. Do you know what I mean?
Even from his upbringing, innit?
And then obviously, like I feel like he's never been himself when he's been in the public eye anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because
people
of the
always
PR and that. So
got something to say, man.
Yeah, exactly.
They've always got something to say, man. Like because
if he's not himself, people are like, oh, you're fake. You're too like trying to be accustomed to everybody. Yeah. And if he is himself, everyone's got a problem with him. So he can never really win. You know what I'm saying?
Because where he's from and his story, if he's to come and be the, paint that picture to everybody, then they'll be like, what's all this? And you know how the media will take it. They'll try and flip it, twist his words. Do something just crazy, which is not needed, innit? So I think it's one of them things that in that moment, because it's heat of the moment, I understand it, innit? And like you said, fighting at that level, serious pressure.
Remember, you got the whole world on your back, man.
Yeah.
Like the pressure, like, bro, I remember in my pro fight, my first pro fight, I had a bit of stalls due to COVID and stuff like that. But my first pro fight was 2019, and I remember I had an interview. I had one comment that was a bad comment out of like 30 that were good.
Do you remember what the comment was?
It was something like, "Don't turn out to be like, don't be like a cock, like Amir, something around Amir Khan." Just straight away assuming me to
be Amir Khan,
and then and just calling. I don't think he's a bad guy, Amir Khan. I just think he's just, you know what I mean? Sometimes people just take things out of bad context and stuff like that. He's done some stupid things.
You know when people say that? They say Khan's this, Khan. The guy's like a multiple world champion.
Yeah, he's a very talented.
Say glass jaw. He's not been hit by
away.
Canelo or something. Like, it's just wrong.
Yeah, man. So, but going on my point there was that I remember that one bad comment. Well, if I'm Joshua, man, I'm like, I know a lot. I heard about a lot of famous people reading like their comments and stuff like that, and you're gonna hear the amount of living crap of people that half of them don't even know anything about boxing.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They don't know shit about it. So,
that's
man.
true.
Who's like the quick question? Who out of like who you've sparred? Is there a guy that you've maybe like a foreign guy or like anyone you've sparred that stood out? You thought, wow, he was good. You thought, Jesus, like anyone in particular the best?
I've got some good guys right now that I spar with. The main one that comes to my head, obviously, that's up there right now is Florian Marku.
Yeah.
I had like 2-3 sessions with him sparring. Well, he is as good as they say, and as you can tell, obviously, as you can see from his record as well, the people that he's fighting are good level fighters, like top level. So he's got to be one of the best. I spar like Slav now. There's Obi down the gym just from over in Bushy in Watford, next to Watford. Jab boxing with Josh Burnham, the head coach down there. So we sparred some good level boys. I had someone local in my town. His name is Nathan Graham. I had quite a few spars with him when I was growing up as well. So he helped out a lot with that. And he's like a 35 fight veteran pro. Do you know what I mean? He fought good level fighters like. He's fought Junior Witter, fought in the prize fighter back in the day as well. So he's fought like real good people as well. And so it was good to have some level sparring off, and he won the Southern Area title as well. He's very, very good level. But definitely the names that I've mentioned will probably be like some of the best boys. But got like boys down the gym now, but they're just a little bit smaller with top level MMA boys, top level. Got like Sam Creasy, who's Cage Warriors champion. He's Cage Warriors champions right now. He just won. I think he fought in Wales last, but won in that first round knockout as well. So he's very top level as well, and it's good. Do you know what I've got? As well as sparring, but sometimes it's about being around other good fighters as well, seeing their mentality, seeing the way they train, and like Tom Creasy, his younger brother, who's another one, is a very good fighter. Just to see the way these guys train and the way these guys like. It's obviously a different sport, but it's still combat. Of course.
Mentality and like how they train and professionalism can rub off on you.
100%.
So what, you take little things here and there. Obviously, your own game's your own game.
100%.
But being around these people, you must learn 1-2 things.
Oh, definitely. Just seeing humble is one of the main ones. I'll say I'm not really around many people that are loud and just, do you know what I mean? Always mouthing off and stuff like that. If I'm honest, I don't really like that approach. And
so are you always respectful with your opponent? Unless they're chatting shit.
Unless he's chatting. And do you know what it is? I'm one of those guys that if someone's there talking shit, I'm like, listen, we can get paid for it and we can do it without payment as well. Do you know what I mean? Let's take it. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. In or out of the ring.
It's just smoke.
It's
smoke regardless.
For real though, I fully mean that as well. And it's funny because I know I don't look like that type either, man, but I promise you, like, I've just, not that I want to take it out, that I'm always respectful.
Cool.
But it's just people think that they got to sell a fight always. Like, it ain't always got to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm fighting some level fighter now, you ain't going to sell many more tickets than... do you know what I mean? So, I mean, top level, when you're talking about, obviously, English, British, those levels, cool. Talk all the shit you want. I can talk back. It's no problem. But... at the level I'm at now, if someone wants to talk shit, bro, we could do it both.
Have you ever been in a situation where someone's been talking proper shit and you've told him, you go around the corner or something?
It's Queensbury. I thought, I don't really want to mention no names, the weigh-ins and stuff like that. But I was just said straight, like, there's always a line where you can put your feet, do you know what I mean? Like where you stand. People want to cross that line, I'm like, listen, if you cross that line, we ain't fighting tomorrow, we're fighting tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to.
But you're letting them know in advance.
I'm coming down from Russia for a reason.
Bro, I'm standing in my spot, bro. You stand in yours. Like, I don't understand in it sometimes. You know, it's like they get so excited by the weigh-ins, and I'm like, bro, you're fighting tomorrow anyway. So what's the point?
What's all this?
Do you think some people try and do it as an intimidation factor? You know what I mean? Like looking into your eyes, trying to stare you down, whatever.
They're trying to do that Mike Tyson approach. You know, that like, looking in your that. beating you before you've even got it. I mean, it works for some people. I mean, getting people, some people's heads. Talking about MMA, I think it got into not just, obviously, just the way Conor McGregor was talking shite to Aldo. I feel like that had a big factor in him, how he won and how quickly he won.
Because he literally, he comes in rushing in.
And he's never like
aggression.
that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I think there's some level of fact that it works on, but then again, you can do that same shit against someone like Habib. And
you know the outcome,
do you know what I mean?
Them man are just drillers. Those brothers there, Khabib, them man.
They don't care about anything, bro. The guy still drives. I'm pretty sure they said he still drives a Toyota.
Khabib?
Yeah, man.
I'm not even laughing at him either. It's calm. Let him do that.
Bro, you're happy with it. Shall I tell you one thing? Is that when you have Islam in your life, I'm a Muslim, so when you have Islam in your life, all this money and stuff, it's all temporary anyway. Well, you can't take it to your grave with you. Do you know what I mean? The guy was in Nigeria. I think he was in Nigeria digging wells the day after, or 2 days after, he fought Conor McGregor doing charity work. Himself digging up wells, man. Like that's the type of happiness that no money could ever buy you, man. Like that's what gives me genuine happiness, charity. And obviously it's something in my religion that I need to do as well, man.
Respect that as well.
Wanting to even branch into religion, like religion and fighting, like it's you pray before every fight.
100%.
Those things there, like. So is it a thing of? I want to blend this into family as well. Like when you started doing fighting, like how were your parents with it? Like, because obviously every mum doesn't want to see their kid get punched, in the face. It's one of them things. But how obviously because you had your uncle on board, your dad was taking you from young. Like how was that transition?
So talking about my family, for example, my parents are my dad. Always in my family, fighting's been a thing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? We've always watched boxing, WWE. Do you know what I mean? So
the original. That's the original. Yeah.
Of course. So there's always been fighting in my family. Like that's just been a thing. Do you know? Like if it weren't a sport, it was on streets. Do you know what I mean? So fighting's always been a little thing. My dad used to fight as well. So my dad was perfectly fine with it. Don't get me wrong. He gets nervous when he's watching his son fight. There's been a few times where he's walked out like before the fight start. Oh really? Yeah. No, not anymore. Not in the pros. But he's done it a few times in amateurs as well. Because I don't know about it, but obviously someone's told me that he walked out. Yeah. But which I don't mind. That don't bother me too tough. Like it's so my mum, man, nothing but supportive, man. Nothing but supportive.
Even when you first
started, man. Obviously, when I come home with a broken, twist up nose and that, bro, they start talking.
Start worrying.
Why are you ruining your face? But to be fair, where it's taking me now, and she knows where it's taking me off. Do you know what I mean? She knows that it's taking. Yeah. Because remember, boxing hasn't just sorted out my life just in the ring and just being in the gym and stuff like that. No, I mean it's sorted out everything, like with my mentality towards life. In Islam, boxing. There's arguments and stuff like that, but I don't believe it's halal. I don't think it's right. Like I can't sit here and be like, my religion teaches that it's okay, and I'm not doing wrong. Like hitting to the head and stuff like that. It's not a good thing, but it is getting me closer to my religion. I do pray a lot more when it comes to obviously fights and stuff like that. It helps me get closer, and you're in that mind where. Do you know what I mean? There's only God that you can really and truly rely on.
And I think it's more of a thing that even during the fight, you've prayed, so now he's looking down on you for guidance, everything, just take you through the fight more.
And also on the flip side, I feel like boxing makes you very disciplined.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It gets you in a routine of everything. So if prayer is in a routine and say, religion is in a routine, it's very easy to be close to it.
Yeah, definitely. No, it really is, man. When I pray, bro, I'll be honest, when I pray, I don't pray just for me. I pray for my opponent as well, man. I pray that we both go out safely. Because remember, my opponent's got a family too, man. He's got to put food on the table too, man. So I'm not out here talking about killing people and all this. Like, I don't want to.
You rap him though. You have to rap him, like.
I'm gonna light him up, bro. But
you have to.
Like I said, man, I don't want to. Do you know, like, because there's been a lot of injuries in boxing where people are not the same anymore. I wouldn't want to be. I know that comes part of it, and I know that can happen to me any day as well. But we both know what we're there for. We both know and obviously the referee has this purpose in it as well. So should a fight be going on too long, that's their job now. But yeah, man, like I said, I don't just pray for myself. I pray that obviously I get the win, and then we both come out safely, man.
I see a question. I think one of you guys had, and I know you were on about the MMA and you teach MMA.
I don't teach. No.
I
don't teach it. I just do like a wrestle.
Wrestling.
Would you ever do a MMA fight though in the future, sort of thing?
I think I might know who asked that question. I think I might know. Would I? Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I like a fight.
Exclusive.
So,
Exclusive. MMA fighters. It didn't come from me. Didn't come from me. He's open to it.
That was actually his call out. Very undead.
Yeah.
That's all good. If they want it, they can get it as well.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. Do you know what? No, I train actually. The gym that I train in Aylesbury when I'm with my uncle is an MMA gym. It's a jiu-jitsu gym. It's RGA Bucks. So Roger Gracie's academy Bucks. The head coach there, the black belt, Kevin Capel. He's the man. We do like Saturday wrestling classes, and I adopted that in my training for my last training camp. Felt like it made me so much stronger. Don't know. I don't think I can compete with the top like wrestling boys, the MMA boys, but it's just good to go in there and be able to train and just. Do you know when you're punching all the time? Not that it gets boring, but I feel like you need to switch it up with something else where you're training still.
Yeah.
But you have
the ability to do other stuff with
100%.
it.
Like you said, it's still a combat sport as well. So
100%, man.
you know, there's basic fundamentals which are used in both sports.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If
so
you have
footwork,
the background,
the
background of boxing before you go into MMA.
Me and you tried wrestling for a bit.
Yeah, I did try wrestling. Yeah, and I did kickboxing for a hot sec as well. So
yeah.
Size of the lad.
You know what I mean? You've got some big boys.
Yeah.
But, do you know what? I've got a lot of... people always ask me the question between like wrestling and MMA. Boxing and MMA. What do you reckon? And they're both top level sports, man. And I love them both. I love watching both. I'm watching a card on the weekend with obviously Diaz and Chimaev. Like, if you like boxing, you got to like a bit of MMA.
Yeah, I think it's more natural, isn't it? Because you're just tuned into the combat side of things anyway, innit?
Why do people always got to compare? Oh, this is better than this. This
Yeah,
is better.
You can literally enjoy both.
Exactly that.
Man.
Exactly that. The one thing I do like about MMA is because it's run by one. Obviously Dana White, the president, the UFC. Let's say UFC is run by, and then you got Bellator's obviously got their people. You got one championship, so it's like different organisations. So the top fights have to happen. They will make it happen. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many times you can say no before you get cut from the UFC. Do you know what I mean?
They'll cut you off quickly.
And they will wipe you off unless you're like a top boy, Conor McGregor, Khabib, them boys where you can kind of pick and choose here and there. But we don't know they're picking. To be fair, even then, they've got to fight the next contender, really and truly. If you're the champion, you got to fight
whoever's next in line, innit? Yeah.
Would you say boxing's a bit different? Because Akira's always telling me it's kind of more of a dark sport where you can dodge and weave. And
you can definitely.
You get what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah. You look at the fights of that Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. That didn't happen for so many years. Kell Brook and Khan. Happened too late.
Yeah, that happened way too late. I'm not even a big boxing fan, and I knew that happened too late.
Yeah, look, both of them just look old.
If
you put that fight in the prime, one of the greatest fights.
That would have been
100%. I can't imagine the amount of money that would have generated.
That's what I'm about to say. Do you reckon it was the fight should have happened? It never happened. So it was like their final big payday.
Yeah, exactly that. I think they're both retired now. Well, Khan's definitely retired.
Even that period of time was good because you had Kell Brook and Khan, but then Canelo and them man, they're slightly peaking in now. Get me?
There was good level of fighters around that time as well, and it's just like the welterweight division. You had Sean Porter as the champion before Kell Brook fought him. Then you had obviously Terence Crawford and that creeping in. Errol Spence. These are like top level boys. Do you know, if that fight would have happened early, it just would have been. It'd been good for English boxing and the British boxing. It would have been perfect for that.
Have you got a favourite boxer at the minute, or like if you were to say a top five? Like
top five.
Yeah, top five favourite boxers of all weights, sort of thing. Like.
Terence Crawford, number one.
Really, yeah.
Yeah,
switch hitter, and he's
he's just so sharp with it, man. I can't really.
I can't like every punch with him is more or less clean.
Yeah, and the body shot's beautiful.
You reckon
as well.
He beats I think him and Spence are fighting. Has it been announced?
Yeah. I don't know if it's definitely been announced, but I know they're in the talks of it.
Yeah.
But hopefully that gets fully signed off and everything. But I've always had him against. I always put him up against Errol. I thought Terence would always beat him, and I've said that for a couple of years now as well. Number 2, Canelo, and I have to. Sorry, I'm gonna rearrange all that. Artur Beterbiev first. Sorry, Artur Beterbiev, because he's a straight killer. There is no. There's no messing about.
Nah,
with him.
he's leaving you with head injuries.
Yeah.
You're leaving with head injuries.
100.
I saw that guy. You know, I swear he fought when they were doing like the closed one at Eddie Hearn's house.
Nah, that's you're thinking of that Alan Babbage, I think.
Yeah. I mixed it up. Yeah,
he's
sorry,
a savage. Well, his nickname is a savage.
Yeah, I mixed it up. But them countries, they're just.
He's Dagestani, so he's obviously where Habib and that's from. So he's up in. Well, he trains in Montreal, I think it is, in Canada.
Okay.
But he's a straight killer, man. So I'll go with him. Terence Crawford, definitely Canelo next, and the reason Canelo is just. Well, he's fighting everyone. He's good to watch. Do you know what I mean? He's so good to watch. Tyson Fury, man, he's up there as well.
Yeah. With this, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Come on, let's hear it, bro.
My thing with Tyson Fury, the guy's a good fighter, but I just feel like somebody will exploit him soon. Like I just
tell you what.
I feel like it has to come. It's just
like
you don't rise against Deontay Wilder like that and then just come out with the win and like guys just peppered everybody.
Did he draw that fight when he got back?
Sorry?
When he was on the floor and he got back in the last
round.
That was a draw. That was a draw.
That was a draw. They had, how many fights there? 3 and
3. He won 2 of them. And
he should have won 3.
Yeah, he should have won 3.
He should have won 3. Yeah, really and truly.
Because even that, the fight, that was the second one, the middle one, innit? The one where he got up,
the one he got up was the first fight.
The first fight.
Yeah, that was the first
he should have
fight.
won that one.
Yeah, do you know what? Tyson, man, he's too much, man. He is too big for everyone. Not even just too big, his skills, man. Like, the guy, look at him. Deontay Wilder knocks motherfuckers dead. He really does knock him dead. Like, you see people having fits on the floor when they're fighting, man. And this guy comes up like the Undertaker, like just straight. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what it is? It's very hard to see. Look at heavyweights. Like you got Joshua right now. You got Usyk, but remember one thing: he's a very small heavyweight as well, so he's able to move the way he's able to move. Then you got Tyson Fury. I think he's 6'9" or
I think
6'9". Yeah.
And he moves like that for a big boy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shaking his belly and that. Like, come on, man. So do you know what? I'll give him his props, man. And I'm basically saying these fighters due to like it's good to watch. I love Dillian White as well, man. I love Dillian White.
On the subject of Fury, you said about the trash talking. Do you think it's okay when it's Fury? Because it's sort of, do you like Fury's trash talking, or now you think he should like stop it, or you think it's kind of funny?
Do you know, like when he comes in running as Batman and stuff like that? Like, it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of, do you know what I mean? You got to add a bit of. Adds a bit of character to it, but to be fair, I don't really buy into it. It's all for the fight, isn't it? He's been saying some mad stuff to Usyk and that, but I'm not really respecting a lot of things like saying, do you know what I mean, about his country and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is what it. I just man. I don't
hear that.
Yeah, man. And then the last one, obviously, I like Dillian White, but obviously Gervonta Davis as well, man. And the reason is because that. He's that mini Mike Tyson. He's the real mini Mike Tyson, man. And he's knocking a lot of people out, man. Yeah. And that last fight against Rowley as well. And Rowley's a big boy as well. He's a good fighter, man. And man. So I have to put Gervonta in the top 5, man.
Is that in specific order, or you're just saying?
Yeah, man. That was an order. That was top 5.
There's the order.
For first being Artur Beterbiev, my favourite, and obviously Gervonta. My 5th.
Okay.
Did any of you guys see what Gervonta Davis did in his last fight?
No.
He was speaking to
some guy said. Some guy said, "Oh, he's tiring, Rowley. Don't worry, he's tiring." He looks at the guy, and goes, "Shut your bitch ass up." And he looks at him,
and then literally knocks out Rowley.
Then knocks
him out.
Literally,
But savage.
But you see, guys like him, they just have the fight in control from minute start to minute end.
And remember one thing, he's jumped up in weight as well. So these guys he's fighting, he could actually make. I know he can make the weight below. He's made the weight many times below, but it's he's jumped up. If you look at the people the size that he's fighting, they're big boys. They're a lot bigger than him anyway.
Yeah.
Well, they look a lot bigger than him. So I can't really imagine that his cut is too crazy. Where these other guys, their cut must be a lot more. So for him to move on the power from a smaller division to a bigger division and still be knocking people out in that division, you're like, whoa, this kid can punch, man. But I was saying to you guys earlier, man, there's videos of this guy when he was a kid and he's in the gym at like 10 years old and he's just swinging for it. So some people just have it in them, that little...
that fighter in them, innit?
100%, man. And obviously product of their environment as well. Where you come from as well plays a lot of part in it. And I think he's from somewhere...
Baltimore, I think.
Baltimore. And do you know when you get those places in America, the hoods and stuff like that, man? It's rough, man.
Yeah, so I think even their upbringing, fighting's involved anyway, innit? So it's just
it makes you more of a, like, I think it gives you more like more rawness about 100%. You. Like,
and then imagine having as well. A coach just cleaning up that rawness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Documentary on him. 5 of the other fighters he come up with, they're all dead. They got because he's like Baltimore, like gangs and stuff. Javante Davis is the only guy that made it out of. Like, there was a group of them, innit? And he's the only guy that
made it out of the fight.
Wow. See, alone there, that just tells you, innit, man? So the places that the things he's probably seen as well, man. He probably transferred. People need that release, man. And they were talking about coaching that as well. It's like I know I need that plan B, because let's say, if God forbid, if I couldn't box from today onwards, something happened. Let's say, I would need something to go into, because I can't. What do I do after I finish work or anything like that? What do I do, man? Do you know what I mean? I can't train no more. Usually after my fights, like, I'm still in the gym. I can't. I'm not like, I'll have a week off. I'm supposed to have a week off, so I need that rest. But I just get so bored, so I'm up in the gym, just helping out if I can help out the other boys. Do you know what I mean? So it becomes more of a lifestyle where, God willing, when I have kids as well, like, I want them to be brought up in that environment of discipline and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100.
And just the coaching has changed a lot as well. Like, from like trying to, obviously my uncle's helping me train other people now as well, getting me into that side, because it's a complete different side. I always say, he always says, if you can't really, if you can fight, it doesn't mean that you're going to make a great coach. If you're a great boxer, it doesn't mean you're going to make a great coach. Vice versa. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I do like. I'm liking the coaching side of it, and if I can, whenever I can help out as well, I'm always down to help out other fighters as well, man.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Obviously, one of the questions that we got in is, when would you next fight for a championship? I don't really know how it works. Like, I'm obviously at pro.
Yeah.
But what is your first, like? Are you eyeing up any titles or anything like that?
It will. If anything, it will be the Southern Area title, which is like the first step. But like I said, every fight has got to come. Like, I've got to take a step at a time, and I've got to only look at the next opponent and just go from there and build myself up. Because I'm not one of those people that starts. Obviously, I wouldn't be fighting if I didn't think I was going to win titles.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. I don't think I would ever. But I do want to take my time, in the sense that I do want to get moving and fight, but I mean, take my time in the sense that I'm not going to look past any person thinking that, that's my goal, I'm going to get there. Look past these people, because a lot of times you can get proven wrong and in that sense, and you can be humbled in that sense as well. So, definitely, I would say have one more 4-rounder. I'll jump on some 6-rounders. Obviously, fill myself out, see how I'll get on with them as well. And then, man, if there's any titles, eliminators or anything like that,
ready for it, man.
Before they do the questions, I was going to ask, like, amateurs. I know you won a lot, because at Lucy Gym there was a photo with you, the belt, but like, how much did you win as an amateur, like titles and stuff? Did like accolades? Did you win quite?
It got a bit broken up because the alliance come into it, so it was 2 parts. It was England Boxing Alliance. So I won that title. It was in that was in Northwest title. I don't really think it's a great recognised belt. I did fight a good level fighter from Del U for that, so I did win. And I defended it against another Finchley boy as well. He's actually my pal now as well. JK, man, he's my boy. But that's another thing about boxing, man. There's so much respect behind it that I can you fight, you win, lose, whatever, man. Same, just there doing the same thing as you're doing, man. Literally, man. So I won. I made it like novices and that. I've done the semi-finals. I got to the semi-finals in there. I won the home counties 5 times as well. I just happened to keep winning them ones, man. But So I won a decent amount of fights in amateurs. Obviously done that white collar, that Queensbury stuff, which is it's decent. Do you know what? That kind of lined me up for the pros because you have to sell tickets for that.
Yeah.
And obviously pro boxing is good to sell tickets. That's what you get paid from in the early days anyway. And
majority of it from ticket sales.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Queensbury was a good little show to like. I was fighting up in Essex at the race courses and stuff like that. So it was good venues, man. And just give me a little warm up until obviously the pros and that. But amateurs are always the best days, man, because you just get a call up on a Wednesday, say, do you want to fight Saturday? Like,
I literally was, before we go into the I'm so sorry, I wanted to know, like, how does it work? Like, how the fighting things, like, how do you pattern an opponent? How do you know your next fight? Like,
so even like the pros and amateurs, you don't read, so you're just a fighter. Pretty much, you'll have in amateurs, you'll be your coach. You'll basically be your manager, and then when you come to the pros, you have your coaches that won't do anything. They'll have a say in it or whatnot. Yeah. But the manager does his main thing. My manager right now is that Steve Goodwin. Okay. He's a good level promoter. He's got some good fighters underneath him as well, and gets you the right fight. Brings you up the right way. Doesn't throw you into the dogs. You know what I mean? And he brings you up where you're going to make the full potential of your career. You're going to push it to its full limits. Okay. And in amateurs it would be the best because my coach Danny, you were obviously coached by the same guy as well, and Lucy. He was a man in the sense that he would just say to me, "Be ready at all times," and that's why I happen to get so many amateurs in is because of being called up on during the week or something like that.
Did he make you do the run round Raven Hill up the hill?
Yes, the famous run. Yeah. But yeah, like it was good in the sense that he always had belief in me that I was ready to drop. I mean, my uncle was my main guy the whole way. Obviously, he was, but he was there with me. Dan, obviously, he'd be the one getting the fights and stuff like that. So my uncle never had the licensing. He's getting his pro license and everything sorted now. So okay. But yeah, man, I used to love being called up. I used to love fighting on a Friday and just saying, "Do you want to fight next Friday?" But do you want to fight next Saturday?
So literally a week between fights at amateur.
Yeah, man. Okay. Whenever really, man. Just like there was a few times. I think I fought on a Thursday and a Saturday before. Like man.
Because I went to the Commonwealth Games with my brother to watch the boxing. Yeah. I think finals and semi-final, like because it's in a week or two, of however it lasts. So you've got like fights, like what Shocki was saying. It was like every other day or something a fight. I can't remember. I don't know, something like that. I think. In the talk, because it's a tournament, isn't it?
Yeah. What you're putting your body through is crazy, though.
How many rounds are they? Would they be
only 3 round
fight?
Yeah, three 3 minutes. They changed it to in the seniors, or you can do 4 2s. I've done both.
Is the final an extra round or no? It stays at, because I think the Olympics did. It used to be for the final. It used to be. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was the same, but you might be right. You might be right. Amateurs were good days, and I love them days purely because you don't get paid for it, man. So you're fighting for the love of it, man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And you're learning as you go. Every fight, you're learning something new.
Yeah, 100%.
What I missed out in this fight that I did in the fight before.
Yeah.
Now I put in the next fight. Like,
would you also say coaching in boxing has changed how you actually look at boxing as a boxer?
100%. Yeah, the reason is because, like I said before, boxing's done a lot for me. Like it's done a lot in the sense that without boxing, I would have been a menace to society, like fully. But I would have done the wrong things. I would have been on the bad path. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But boxing's done something where I know that the people I'm teaching, there's some young kids that I can make a good influence in their life or give them that a bit of confidence in their life. I always say that if not more, but I get more pleasure out of teaching someone that's being bullied and with no confidence, because I know I can make a big change in their life compared to someone that's, let's say, even a pro fighter. Yeah. Like, I wanna make change to people's life. And I think being that, you got to be a good role model as well, and you got to be someone that obviously you got to carry yourself in the right way so you can pass it on to. You don't want to be this. That's what I said about bad mouthed, all this, all that. I don't want to really pass that on to some of the kids that come to the classes and stuff like that, or some of the people that I'm a role model to, like, you know, like my little cousins and stuff like that. I want to teach him that obviously the humble is the best way, and just carry myself in a good way. So I do look at it in a different way because it's so much different to like teaching it. I thought I could always teach, but I can't really teach him just the way I fight all the time. There's ways, there's steps to it. Like you got to like obviously do it in different ways. So but I'm just learning. I'm happy to learn as well. I'm always like I'm never going to be one of those people that's like, oh, I know it all now. Never. Yeah. I just got to take every step at a time and take on the knowledge. Like even my uncle now, he's been teaching for 15 plus years, and he literally says to me all the time, I'm still learning things too. Do you know?
Yeah.
He's just learning. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Growing up, what's a boxer that you looked up to? Like who was the boxer before and being Ali?
Yeah, of course, because of my dad. My dad loved Muhammad Ali.
I got him as my screensaver on my phone.
Have you? Yeah, my great uncle as well always talked about Ali. We used to have a video player. My dad used to obviously have the Muhammad Ali videos and that. I'd watch the fights on there. So yeah. To be fair, fighting's always, like I said about fighting being in my family. I remember we used to watch a UFC on ITV. It used to be the replays.
Yeah.
Wow.
And me and my dad I was about 8-9 years old. Bro. I remember in the breaks of the commercials and stuff like that, that's when me and my dad would be like, yeah, it's time to fight now. Like we would fight each other in that time until the breaks come back.
And then you sit back down and watch.
Yeah.
So when you say it's being a part of your life, it's literally being a part of your life.
Fully.
From young, yeah. Okay.
And even like my brothers and that, they're probably going to listen. They're definitely going to listen to this. Nada and Carter, they used to put the gloves on and beat me up. It's my time now.
Carter even messaged us saying, "Who's your favorite brother?"
Not you. No, I'm joking.
He meant that, by the way. He meant that.
We've got the answer now.
Do you know what? I got a love for all my brothers, man. I can't even pick a favourite because they've all been such like a positive influence on my life. Do you know what I mean? They've all done a lot for me. Well, I've got love for all my brothers, man. Honestly.
How many have you got?
I've got 4 brothers.
4, okay.
Yeah, one sister.
Yeah. Respect it.
She's my favourite, man. She's my sister, and
of course, you know, it's that protection over.
You're on about. I know you said your dad was a bit. Do any of your brothers do the combat sort of stuff? Was one of them a coach? You say, or was it?
Nah, none of them are coaches or anything like that. They all watch boxing and stuff like that. They got into. They were fighting on the wrong paths and stuff like that. My brother Carter, actually, he was probably one of the most technically gifted guys that would just jump into a sport. So he'd come into into a Muay Thai class, and one of the coaches there was straight away was like, I've never seen someone come in and throw kicks like you for the first time. He was actually quite shocked that it was his first time. And he goes, in like the 20 years of teaching, you're by far the best person that's come in and just thrown kicks like that. Like he was...
so it's like natural.
Yeah, fully about it. And to be fair, he's got good genes in the sense that he can eat what he wants, man. He's all abbed out and everything. Do you know what I mean? So he's got really good genes and but none of them really were fighting in a sport or anything like that, in combat sport. It was mostly like in the wrong places. But to be fair, all of them are good. They're on the straight and narrow now, and they all got their families and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
before we jump into the questions, I was going to ask, like, for running, I do a lot of running, like 2 miles, 3 miles. What's like your best sort of 3 mile time? Do you have a best time or that? You don't really.
What 5K that is, right?
5K, yeah.
I get under 20 minutes, get up to like 18 minutes. I mean, I start pushing it to its limits. But
that's
I know people
still fast, you know.
But a lot of people do it more than me, man, and that kind of burns me, man.
They run it quicker.
Yeah,
18 minutes.
I've done it. Best.
No, 5K.
I've done.
That's like 2.7 miles.
The best time I got.
That's like
3.1. 3.1.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But
Jesus.
But there's people there that do it a lot quicker. And I'm just like, I'm trying to get to that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
I'm trying to get to that. But to be fair, I try to do a lot of my running on treadmill. And the reason is that I want to save my knees.
Yeah.
And when I'm running on the roads, you're always going to got little curbs and do you know what I mean? And there's cars and stuff that come and you've got to stop at the crossings. It is hard to get a proper run. I do try to run on grass a lot as well. Obviously just softer landing and stuff. So... yeah, it's pretty decent. Have I said, do you know what I mean, about 100 times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stop that.
I wanted to talk. Oh, yeah, you might as well get to those.
Can't lie, we've pretty much covered the majority of the questions they've been sent in, apart from this last one. Someone said that Jamie Vardy is known to eat on a Mars bar and downing 2 Red Bulls before a match, what do you eat before a boxing fight?
First of all, as soon as I weighed in, I'm getting a Nando's, man.
Okay, what's the order?
What's the order? Oh, do you know what? Before a fight is different. Do you want my before a fight order? Both. Or do you want both? All right, before a fight, just going in with a butterfly chicken.
Okay.
Got to get a bit of chips in there as well.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
What, normal chips or peri chips?
Get to my other order
Right.
first.
Alright,
So,
say no more.
normal chips.
Yeah.
And then I'll get like I won't put too much sauces or anything like that because I'm fighting soon. Do you know what I mean?
Got it.
So when it comes to obviously right before the fight, I'll be drinking on obviously Lucasades and water and stuff like that. But I'll get some jelly beans down me as well, man. Get that sugar rush. You know what I mean? Just before some Skittles. But yeah, I can't be imagining having 2 Red Bulls and a Mars bar, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's
not
a bit-
before, not right before, man.
JB Vardy,
Yeah,
though,
but
man.
that's what he acts like that on pitch. He
What is
just
it?
moves crazy on the pitch. So
Yeah.
that's what he just eating before.
Chat shit, get banged.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Paddy the Baddie? What he's been eating lately?
Oh man.
You've seen it? Yeah, we were on about it.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
chatting on the way.
how big he gets after his fights.
They
I was
were-
watching something on him. He says he just does it to piss everyone off.
Does he?
He says that's the main reason he gets that fat. He lets himself go.
Yeah.
And he's got a good metabolism, but he literally does it so everyone talks about it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's not the right professionalism that you want to have, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the sense
Yeah.
that how long are you going to be able to go doing that?
Yeah.
Do you know? Because
Damaging
the weight
yourself,
cuts
yeah.
are
Yeah,
MMA
that's actually damaging his body, man. Because he's putting all that on to then burn it, then to put it back on
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Then that routine is not. It's not even
Because
healthy.
I saw that on the Mike Tyson, or the Hot Box, not Hot Box, with Mike Tyson that he was on recently, and he was even saying in it. Mike Tyson was telling him, "It's like, well, you're only 27 right now. You can rely on metabolism, but what's that going to do for you in the long run?
Yeah.
When you've got to be fighting.
Oh, they bring in
bigger."
burgers and chicken and wings.
and he gets massive. He gets massive.
I can tell the difference of when I was 20 years old to when I'm obviously 28 now.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference of how easy it was to just drop weight when I wanted. And now I'm like, I've got to be very careful with what I eat as well. Because, that's why I weigh myself every day, is because if I start seeing the weight going up, and I know I'm obviously not eating right and stuff like that, so I've got to monitor that before it goes too far. And then most of my fight camp is just worrying about my weight, worrying about doing a weight cut, not actually about boxing and do you know what I mean, sharpening the skills. Just worry about obviously getting them long runs in sweatsuits, you know what I mean? So
What is the craziest weight cut you've seen, that you've done yourself or you've seen somebody do?
I'm gonna throw my boy into this, Dan Dean, man.
Yeah.
MMA boy. I'm pretty sure it was 79 kilos was getting him down to 70. I think
And
79 or 78, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What?
And I don't think he even made it in the end. It was 70 kilos, but he got to 72, I think it was. And I was in the sauna and the steam room with him.
How long did he have? Was that through the whole?
So he was weighing in on the Friday.
Yeah.
So we were doing it starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
We done a Thursday night, and then Friday morning, and then he jumped straight in a car, drove to Birmingham,
Damn.
weighed in. He just about made it. He won the fight. But I don't think that weight is something that he wants to do again.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like you dropping that much weight, you must not even feel comfortable in your own body, like especially when you've done it that quick, and then you have to adjust with it in space of like a day or two.
That's
That's
the
crazy
night
that he
before.
won the fight, though.
That's the night before the morning of the next day.
Yeah,
What did he do?
It's just obviously it's a lot of water intake that
Yeah,
you're doing
okay,
as
a
well.
lot of
So
water
it's,
weight cut.
it's crazy water intake. Then obviously just using like saunas, baths and stuff like that.
Bath.
So
What
it's
does,
like
what does the bath do?
so you've got just a really hot bar with your bath salts and
just
stuff
like
like
steam
that.
up. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so you're
okay,
just
cool.
steaming up. You're just laying in the bath.
Did you
pretty
say
much.
for the weight cuts they drink a lot of water? You say, or they don't?
So at the start, so I'm pretty sure I've not really done a crazy one before. Or
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, what they do, I'm pretty sure they drink liters and liters, like days, like a week before, and then obviously just throughout the week you've been going toilet a lot as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's how it starts, and then when it comes to the actual weight cut, that's when you fully stop.
Yeah.
And then you're literally getting everything out of you, dehydrating yourself to the max.
Because I was reading up on that. Apparently, it's like they do it they drink a lot of water because they'll get rid of all your bad salts in you. So then you sweat out, and then when you just before the fight, if you stop, obviously the bad salt's already out of your body, so you're good to go pretty much.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm not going to do any of that until
you normally keep in and around what you need to fire anyway, which is probably the best way.
I think for me anyway, I think everyone's bodies are different. You see a lot of fighters in MMA I can think of, because in boxing the weight cuts ain't too crazy, but you look at Dustin Poirier when he was a lot weight below featherweight, it wasn't as good until he jumped up in weight, and then you see the levels.
He looked a bit unnatural at that weight as well. He looked difficult to move around.
And Darren Till moved up, didn't he? Darren Till was
he moved up. But I think he's another one that gets a bit fat during, do you know what I mean, after fights and stuff. So that's not the best way, man. For me, anyway.
Obviously, I was speaking to you before the podcast with the Diaz and Chimaev fight. That's this weekend?
That's tomorrow. I think tomorrow.
Who do you think's going to win? And do you reckon Chimaev could be champion, sort of thing?
Chimaev would definitely make it world title. It would make it UFC champion, welterweight, 100%. And I don't doubt that.
When do you reckon you'll do it then? Like, where do you kind of soonish? Because
I think it's me personally, 2 more fights.
You think so?
2-3 more fights.
He's going to stop Diaz in round 2, yeah?
I've got a bet.
That's your
prediction.
Prediction right now. He's going to stop. And I don't even think it's going to be a smashing thing. Like, it's going to be... I don't even think it will be that. I think it's going to be cuts. Because Diaz scar tissue, he gets touched and he's leaking.
Pouring in it.
So, scar tissue, it's a weird prediction, but it's going to be due to... He's going to take him down, or he might hand him up for a bit, and then it's going to be he's going to smash him up pretty much. Yeah. And I think second round, and then if I'm honest with you, with Leon Edwards, if Kamaru takes that title again, I don't see anyone beating Kamaru. If he goes back and beats Leon Edwards, which I think he will,
I think he will as well. Yeah.
But if Leon happens to beat him again, then that title's open for everyone. I think Chimaev, because their wrestling is crazy, and remember Leon's weakness is his wrestling. He's a very good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. But
he took down Usman though.
He did.
No one's taken Usman down in time. You know.
I just think, do you know, Colby Covington? Yeah. Then you got Chimaev, and you got Kamaru Usman. I think their wrestling is different level.
Yeah.
And although he took him down in the first round, you see how it played out for the rest of the fight. You know what I mean? He couldn't do any of that, could he? So, so it all depends what happens in that rematch. Obviously, it's good to have a UFC champion in the UK. So it is good to have that. And hopefully that means it's going to be more in future.
Is wrestling the main thing in MMA? Is that like the main martial art, that if you're good at that, you're going to be, or it's not so? Because I know they're not so good at striking.
I'm pretty sure the sport's adapted, isn't it?
Yeah. Mixed martial arts.
It's mixed martial arts in general.
You got to, because you can't just be a boxer and go to MMA. You can't just be good at jiu-jitsu. You got to, there's a way, like, I can be amazing at boxing, but, not saying I am, by the way, but you can be amazing at boxing. It doesn't mean I'm going to do great in MMA. So you got to be able to adapt to, because you can't go in with just standard boxing technique. Like you have to switch it up because the gloves are smaller. You're not just defending for hands now. You're defending for leg kicks. You're defending for takedowns. That's how you see when Khabib fought McGregor, where he was so worried about the takedown, he actually got dropped by Khabib, who's not a striker. He was so worried about the takedown, so he feints low, goes up, and that's all to do with obviously mixing it up, and you got to be good everywhere. You can't just be good at wrestling alone, because you can't just go there and hold them down. You got to work as well. They stand you up. If you're not in a dominant position, they're going to stand you up. And there's an art to, like, have you guys watched Khabib fight?
I've watched Khabib fight.
Yeah. Have you seen the way he smashes people on the floor?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any other fight apart from Chimaev that smashes people like that?
Because he puts in work. He's in that position.
There's a technique to that as well. There's levels to that, because I've trained MMA and I've got people down, and it's not so easy to punch when you're holding your arms and you're trying to punch and it's just it's slipping off, and there's such a technique to it that's one thing I love about MMA, because there's so much to it, and there's obviously so many dangers as well. So it's the closest thing you're going to get to a street fight as well.
It seems like a very technical sport. There's so much. I feel like that one sport uses the brain so much in it, because it's even to counter somebody, like you're saying, you're your grapple might slip off, and then what? You're exposed. You get me?
You got like your wrestling, and you got your jiu-jitsu as well. So obviously, it's a good sport. That's why I love training it as well, because it's like I like to be nice everywhere. I'd like to be able to wrestle. I'd like to be able to obviously throw hands,
kick,
kick as well.
man.
I'm not very good at kicking, but
With
just
due
learning.
time.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I'm happy to learn. So yeah, man, it's all good.
With due
So,
time.
so wait, so you're saying you reckon you'll drop him second round? You reckon it will end second round?
He's gonna stop him second round. Yeah.
I think a bit later, man. I think like fourth. I think Diaz can take a stupid amount of pain.
Yeah.
Masvidal busts him up real quick. And that fight got stopped to cuts, right?
Yeah.
And that was very quick. Was that like second round as well? Remember, MMA rounds, that's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got 10 minutes of fighting.
True.
And you've obviously seen a street fight before, right?
Yeah.
Most street fights, man, they last like a minute. That's like a whole... and I think Chimaev has got a big advantage over Diaz as well. I might be completely wrong, because Diaz is one thing. If it goes to the fourth round...
He'll just get this like random urge from somewhere. Like you
get your second wind and stuff like that. And to be fair... Diaz has been 5 rounds before. Well, he's been later rounds many times.
Yeah.
So his stamina does hold up, and he is an incredibly fit athlete as well.
Yeah.
So should the fight go on, I think it might favour Diaz. And his jiu-jitsu is absolute levels as well. He's a black belt for a reason. So yeah, man. So should the fight go on, I'm obviously gonna have to favour Diaz in that sense. Yeah. But I can't see it going that far, especially with how much Chimaev just smashes people, and his hands are absolutely sharp. And his last fight against Gilbert Burns is number 2. It was number 2 ranked.
Was he outside number 10 at that time when he fought Gilbert?
I think he was number 10.
He was number 10 when he
10 or something like that. I think he might have been 11, but.
Because even previously for that fight, obviously there was hype around his name, but I remember even thinking, I was like, this guy is the real deal, but I want to see him fight someone properly in top 10. And then when he did that to Burns, I was like, yeah, this guy is serious.
That was a good fight. It's a very close fight.
Burns he's a good fighter.
He's like a fucking horse.
Yeah. He did come to fight as well, and that was good though, because that would probably teach him more than any other fighter's ever taught him, because when you're going in there, you're picking up people, manhandling them, stashing them, and just smashing them to a choke. Yeah. That teaches you, like, you learn, but you're not learning much off that. You're kind of like, it's just a one-way for you, one-way traffic. But when you've got someone, then you're like, oh wow, there is someone that can. I know what you mean. Yeah, there is someone that can back it as well. And I'm not so invincible after all, because that stuff must get to your head, doesn't it? If you're fight everyone that you fought, everyone that you train with, you're absolutely smashing every time. You're sparring guys that are like 3 weight classes bigger than you, and you're buoying them off. Yeah, and it's like, well, I'm pretty sure it'd get to my head.
It'd get to anyone's head, because you're thinking, I'm just steaming through everyone. Like, I'm just steaming through, and then I feel like that one person will come, and you're like, okay, now I know the ins and outs. Definitely.
Is there any? You said Chimaev could be champ. Is there anyone out there that you reckon beats Chimaev? Obviously not 2 out of his weight range, but it'd probably have to be someone higher weight. You reckon that would beat him, or at the same?
I think Kamaru that would be a very good fight. Let's see how Kamaru comes back. I think he took a fight. He took the loss as a champion, a proper champion. He's nothing but made a little joke of it. Yeah. Like he really has taken it like a true champion. But let's see how he comes back. But I think he's potentially one person that can beat him. As much as I hate Colby Covington, but you have to give respect.
Do you hate Colby because of the way he talks, trash talk?
It's a corny American stuff.
I heard that apparently it's like he was gonna get cut by the UFC, so he needed to basically revamp as a person, innit? So he just started speaking pure shit to everybody, but he's not really like that.
Yeah, he's a snitch out though, man. Yeah, maybe snitching on people too much.
That as well.
Masvidal. but as much as I hate him though, but you got to give respect where it's due. The guy is a top level athlete. He gave Kamaru 2 good fights. Even though he got knocked out in the first one, he gave him 2 good fights, and he's beating all the top boys.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
so. As much as if I don't dislike a fighter, I should say hate. I shouldn't really use that word because that's a strong word. Yeah. So, as much as I dislike a fighter, I do give his props though, because I do think if Kamaru wasn't champion, he would be the champion right now. Like I think he beats Leon all day, and he's got a possibility of beating Chimaev as well. So Hamzat, But I like to see all these. That's what I love about UFC at the same time. It gets me excited because I know these fights are all around the corner. They're not. I ain't got to wait 6 years for this anymore. So
literally, there's like one big one a month.
Yeah. Props to the heavyweight division though, because they've been getting the fights out. I do want to see a few more fights with Deontay Wilder more involved. I do want to see him fight Dillian White. I do want to see Joshua and Dillian White again, because that's another good fight as well. There's so many fights I do want to see, but I'm just praying I don't have to wait so long for them. But with obviously MMA, with the UFC, I know some of these fights are going to happen. Like, look at this. They brought over Michael Chandler, and he's had like 3 bangers already. You know, like he's had like 3. Look at the fight with Justin Gaethje. Him and Justin Gaethje. That was a war.
That was did that go 5 all 5?
No, but I think it was a 3-round fight, and I think it went to points. I think, My knowledge is so bad. Like, do you know when you're on the mic? You know, like,
at the current moment, you can't even think of nothing.
Yeah.
Like that, literally.
No.
What I was going to ask is, obviously before a fight or like boxing, when you work out, he's into music a lot, or all into music sort of thing. What kind of music do you listen to? Is there a specific artist or UK artist, American?
Alright, let me think. I'll come out to Tupac always. Ambition. I'm coming out. That's like something I listened to as a childhood as well.
There's any right you come out to him as during walk?
Ringwalk always. It's always been Tupac, Ambition as a rider. Any specific music I listen to? If I'm honest with you, I listen to the Quran a lot. Gets me in peace. Do you know what I mean? Just calm before the storm. Mainly the Quran. If I'm honest with you, there'll be a few like. If I'm honest with you, I don't really listen to those tunes that really give you a lot of pump and do you know what I mean? That crazy. I don't really listen to that. I just listen to like something quite calm and peaceful. I can listen to a bit of country and that.
Okay, fair enough.
It's different, man. It's different for real.
I'm not gonna come on here and be like, listen to this and that. None of that. I need something calm, if I'm honest with you, because that storm's gonna come later on, all that pump, and just alone me walking out, that's the pump all I need. Because I've got all my people shouting for me, and obviously showing me that support. That's really and truly the pump that I need anyway. So
got another question as well. I know you said it's Nando's, but after a fight, is there any other food that you go to? I know you said Nando's. Is there any other ones that you think, I'm having this after a fight?
My mum's curry, man.
I think that one there is essential.
Your mum's food is the best food, right? So for me, man, that's something I always miss. If I'm honest with you, I don't eat it as much. Obviously, even out of like when I'm not training for a fight, like I've been. The last time my last fight was 5 weeks ago, and I've eaten it 3 times, 4 times. So it's not been like loads of times, and that's because I know I've got to be disciplined in that way as well. But my mum's food, man, I love her. I'm from obviously Kashmir, Pakistan, so I'm like the food is that's the food.
Were you born there?
I wasn't. I was born here, man.
Oh, okay.
Have
you been back before?
Yeah.
Cool,
It's amazing there. I love it going there. It's a good place to go, and that's where you get another level of peace as well. Go there with family. Usually have barbecues at night time, so like 30 cousins over and that. Do you know what I mean?
A good vibe.
Yeah, man.
That's the way it is, man.
Always. So 3 things you'd say to an upcoming boxer that wants to be in your shoes.
Training hard. Like, you got to have that something in your mind that's going to get you up in the morning. You got to train hard. You got to train hard. You got to be dedicated. And stay motivated as well. Like, don't get sidetracked, because a lot of people, they have a fight, they win. A lot of people around them be talking that, you're this, you're that, do you know what I mean? You're amazing, whatever it is. Don't keep your vision of where it was already. Keep it what your goal is, and always respect your trainers and respect the people around you. Keep that respect about you. Don't let keeping a straight and narrow, because all that can be taken away from you and so quickly. So definitely keeping that same goal in your head and just striving towards that. And you've got to train hard always, and you've got to be humble with it. So be respectful, and don't make a tit of yourself.
Yeah. And then finally, because I think we're going to wrap up in a hot sec.
Yeah.
How would you deal with negativity? Because obviously you talked about how you deal with nerves. Obviously everyone gets nerves. There's nothing you can do about it. But negativity from people who think maybe you can't make it, or maybe you're not good enough, or just chat rubbish. Do you know what I mean?
Because you know, boxing's one of them things that everyone has their say in it.
Everyone's got.
Everyone's
going to
talk.
Even the most casual fans have the most to say in certain situations.
People work like that.
DM you stupid stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that?
People are going to talk regardless.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing something amazing, you can be at the top level. Like, people are always gonna have something to say. So sometimes it's just about taking it in your stride. Don't take it too disrespectful, because even the casual fans, they pay. You have your say. It's a fan, isn't it? So you have your opinion, man. It's just people's opinions. And I always remember, because I've got opinions on other people. I've said a lot of things on this podcast today about
all sorts.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people, a lot of people might not take offense to it, but they're like, they just don't agree with my opinion.
Yeah.
So everyone has their opinion. So you just got to take it in your stride. As long as if someone says that, I think this person's going to beat you, you just be like, yeah, well, cool, isn't it? We'll see about that. You know, like, but again, they're entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. So if I think what I said about the MMA boys top welterweights, and I was saying I think this person will beat this person, like, that's just due to what I've seen. It doesn't mean I'm right. So pretty much negativity is always going to come. Just change it into a positive anyway. As long as you're correcting yourself and you know that you're being respectful about it, then you can take away something from that. But by going out and reacting to it, saying, do you know what I mean? Just making it into like an argument or something like that.
It's not needed.
It's stupid. It will be very stupid of you to go down to that level. I think the best thing is just to take it in your stride and just probably the best thing to do.
100%, man.
You might as well tell everyone where the next fight is. We'll push that for you, promote it, definitely.
Anything else? Any other questions, Kieran? Before?
So November is going to be the next fight, and it's going to be at your call, in Bethnal Green. So definitely. My Instagram is Junior Shafkat. So if you want to hit me up there, tickets always available.
Description, screen, everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Did they tickets out for as well already?
They're not out already. I just need to get a fight date actually confirmed, but tickets will be out.
Could
as
be
well.
near my birthday. I'll go to
send us the thing.
Send us the link.
We'll put it on our Insta as well. So when the tickets are out, we'll be on our Instagram.
Yeah, we'll post that for you.
100%. I appreciate that. That means a lot, boys. Thank you for having me on today as well.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Big up.
Most like humble, steady guest.
Just came and just spoke yourself.
Had like rappers on before, and
it can just get awkward at times, but you know.
Big up the two-man step.
Every time.
What are you saying?
Wrap up in this.
Is that good?
Yeah, man. Over and out. Thank you.
Over and out. You know, same old.
Subscribe
on the screen. Like, comment, subscribe, share to your auntie, dog, cat, mum, dad, sister, aunt. Everyone in it. Just sharing it.
I was saying to them the other day. There's like podcasts. They've got like